Carrot Rewards. I think there's a new offer in there, so I'm just gonna like go tap a couple things and get some points.
Are you still using that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still use it for health reasons. It still tracks my movement.
Mine activates and deactivates itself at random, and I'll occasionally get messages. And
what are the scene points that give you down to?
Because of the Ford policy change, they had to pull some of that back. They don't give you set amounts for walking per day. Like they can't give you it for every day. But if you do if you beat out your stretch, they'll give you if you match or beat your record, they'll give you a set amount of points, and they still give you points for surveys.
Hello,
I'm out.
Is that your Shark Tank?
That's my Shark Tank. Yeah, I'm out.
Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 243. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. That's Carrot Rewards, Adriano Petty.
Hi.
And that's Tomato Man, Matt Lawrence.
What's going on?
You still a fan of the tomato?
Yeah. I just updated Fortnite on my Switch.
How was it on Switch? Have you played it on Switch?
Played a little bit. Yeah, it's all right. People are complaining. Like, I don't know if I like the sticks with the Joy-Cons as much as I do full controller. I would say that's my complaint personally.
I've tried holding my nephew's Switch, and I don't find it comfortable.
In handheld mode, which is what I use it in, the left or the right stick is a bit too low, I think. I have a grip case, which helps, but I think that them being off of the Switch is better even.
Because with him, he bought a case which gave it grips.
That's what I have too, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, this immediately feels better, but still not quite there.
It's just not lined up.
I don't like the joysticks.
How was the travel on that? Because one of my complaints about the Vita was like you didn't have enough accuracy.
It's marginally better than the Vita.
I'd say it's twice as good as the Vita, but it's still far from the other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the Pro Controller, but you had to be like set up and sitting down for that. Typically at a TV, I guess, too, right?
Generally, yeah. Well, I mean, you could bring the Pro Controller with you in a bag, and
that just increases the hassle of it being portable.
The whole point of something like that being portable even is just the fact that you could throw it all in a bag and just have it. Whereas like an Xbox, it's like I need this HDMI, I need this, I need that.
Do you remember the first concepts for the Wii U? It had the 3DS joystick, which was like a flat disc that was pressed right up against the plastic, and you would
I don't remember that.
Move it around.
I don't remember that at all.
But then I think the developers wanted a R3 and L3, like the ability to click in the sticks.
Oh,
and so they switched to conventional ones.
Well, there's that really weird. I don't know if it's on the 3DS, but it's definitely on the new 2DS XL, where it's like the stick that doesn't move.
The little nub.
The right stick doesn't move. Yeah.
Isn't that like the GameCube one though?
No,
it's like a little
GameCube
nub.
one moves.
The GameCube one moves.
But that one actually moves though.
It's not considered a joystick. It's considered the C stick.
Yeah.
So right. it's like a joystick, but it replaced the C buttons from the N64 controller.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the C buttons represented what a second joystick would have been. So you use those instead of a second joystick. Man, what a weird-ass controller.
Yeah, the N64 controller is weird. I don't even like the GameCube controller.
I love the GameCube controller. GameCube controller feels so good. Like, your hands just kind of morph into it.
The curve of, like, the handles is very nice.
It's so fantastic.
Comfortable to hold. I wouldn't say it's very usable these days, though.
I find with both the Xbox and the PS4 controllers is, like, the plastic doesn't go far enough into, like, the curve of your fingers, and it's kind of sitting more in your palm rather than your actual grip.
You're talking about the Xbox, you said?
It's better on the Xbox, but the DualShock 4 is pretty bad for it.
Oh, the DualShock 4, yeah. The DualShock 4, I'd say, is still a bit too...
Sorry, Ryan, what were you saying?
So just hold it normally, right? Mm-hmm. Like the actual handles are more in your palm, aren't they?
Yeah.
Than your fingers. I think I want them more in my fingers.
I would say that it's too loyal to the old design still. I think that they're still trying to be loyal to the old.
Can you imagine having a DualShock 3 still though? That'd be horrendous.
I love those controllers.
Really?
Yeah.
I was impartial, but they weren't great.
They were fine in the time. I mean, PS2 more accurately, but
I love the DualShock.
I wonder if Sony will change again next gen. Probably not.
That touchpad is maybe going to get cut.
They probably increased the cost too, eh?
What do you mean?
Just adding that touchpad?
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll add something.
But this whole thing was a cost increase. You had not only added the touchpad, you added
light bar.
You added a speaker.
I mean, the light bar is just an LED with some diffusers.
Doesn't matter. Still
an extra
costing stuff.
cost.
The
And they'll
spe-
mark it
no,
up.
but
the speaker is going to cost is going to add stuff.
I forgot
to-
about
the speaker too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the speaker though. I like when games use it.
There
Division
was a,
2 uses it.
Oh, I have my speaker off for years. So
And
I wouldn't know.
Last of Us had it. The tape recorders that you listened to had put it through here.
Did it when your flashlight flickers too? Does it make like a battery shaking sound or no?
Maybe
I can't
don't
remember.
I don't remember.
I did like the infamous. You
That
shake
was
the
so
bottle.
good,
and
yeah.
it would make the noise.
That was
you'd
really
go
good.
to like do graffiti and you'd shake it and then you'd spray it like that.
I don't remember.
It's
Hold-
pretty good.
Hold the controller with like the trigger where your finger would be. So like
Hold it vertically like this in
Yeah.
one hand. No, the other way.
like with your hand, your palm will be where the joysticks are.
There you go. Yeah. And so
Well,
that's a
other
shake
way.
bottle.
Yeah.
No, he had it the other way because you had to push the trigger to spray.
No, you can do it from the other end. Yeah, there you go. Your thumb.
Oh, I didn't do it that way.
Interesting.
Wait. Put it back in your hand. Rotate it like that, and then hold it with there. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's
it.
right. I was gonna say you have to definitely hit the other way, and then you used to aim at the screen and like.
Yeah, you would actually drag out the graffiti.
That's pretty
line.
cool.
Yeah,
It was
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one I remember is from the Wii. The Wii. No More Heroes. Before every major boss, you get a call on your phone with some psychotic person calls you, woman, I can't remember, and it came through your speaker, and you're supposed to hold it up to your ear like a phone.
Oh, that's like the calling on the Wii. That's like a really famous like Japanese horror game
I don't remember.
where people like call you. There's a really good part where you're like stuck in a classroom and this person calls you and you're in like a school. Spoiler alert, if anyone cares. But like somebody calls you and he says like, "I'm coming up the stairs. I know what room you're in." And then the doors lock and you can't get out. And then they keep calling you. It's like, "I'm outside the door," and you can hear them coming and they keep calling you. It's supposed to like freak you out. It's pretty good.
All right, top stories for this week. We're entering E3 season. How many days you say? Or weeks? You had it in weeks, didn't you?
14
14 weeks.
13 maybe, by the time this goes up.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have one story from there. We got some updates on the Jedi Fallen Order and when we'll see more information on that. Rumors of a new Xbox One console with no disk drive. Adriano, you actually tested out, I guess, the PS4 Remote Play app.
Yep.
We'll talk about a little bit about that, get your opinion on that. I tried booting up at work, and it said my connection was not good enough.
You tried booting it up at work
Yeah.
because from everything that I read was that it still had to be on a local network.
Oh.
And I think that's what it was. It wasn't that like the PC ones can be done out of your local network, but iOS has to be done in your local network.
Well, it tried.
I think it probably didn't know. Like it was probably looking for a PS4 on you're probably connected to your school Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's probably looking for a PS4 on that Wi-Fi. That's
Okay.
why. Try turning off Wi-Fi. So just on LTE, try loading it up, see what happens. It'll probably just say we can't do this.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Also, Nintendo, this is interesting. They're wary of how it handles microtransactions in their mobile games, and have actually told the developers to take it easy.
Wow.
So, what's new, guys? Where you been? What you doing? What you playing?
Go ahead, Adriano.
Nothing. It's kind of been a long work week. Sea of Thieves with you guys.
A little bit of Sea of Thieves.
Barely any Assassin's Creed. I just haven't had a chance.
Or desire? Or desire to play it?
No, it's fine. Because here's the thing. I enjoy, worst cases, even if it's a shitty Assassin's Creed game, I still enjoy just walking around France. That, of course, I've been playing Hearthstone.
I like the characters too, though.
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm. I want to either A, buy Forza, or B, get back into Gran Turismo. I don't know which. I don't know which way to go. So,
If you had the Game Pass, you could have Forza.
yep. Once I start whoring myself out for Bing points or Microsoft, whatever.
Jesus Christ.
So funny.
They had it. They updated that app today. Actually, I think.
Which app?
I think it was today. I saw that Major Nelson tweet today. It's the Game Pass app, and they have something like quests in the app now and stuff. I don't know, but maybe that'll give you Microsoft rewards. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't check out the update.
I'll go walk around a park and swing some Microsoft Pokeballs at some digital Microsoft
No,
things.
it's the Game Pass app, not a fucking Pokemon app.
Man, if Microsoft said we're gonna do a Pokemon Go thing, but you have to it's a Microsoft theme thing, and you get Microsoft rewards, I'd do that.
You know, you do. You'd get the Pokemon Plus, Pokégo Plus, or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
fucking walk
And you
around.
walk around, yeah.
Yeah, Game Pass, I'd whore myself out.
God damn it.
Besides that, I saw Captain Marvel with you
Oh yeah.
guys yesterday.
What would you give it out of 10?
Wasn't my favorite MCU movie. It had a really rocky start. It was all over the fucking place in the beginning.
Rocky Star, I'd say for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, at one point I'm just like, why? Who is? Why? What is she doing? and I was having a hard time. Of course, they cleared it up. But it's like having a hard time with.
Are they going into spoiler territory?
No, they're just flashing back and forth between two very different settings.
Yeah.
And I. Okay, now it's probably spoiler territory.
Okay, spoiler alert, everybody, for Captain Marvel.
For the 6 people that listen to this,
Hey, man.
I feel like they should have started it on the human, like her Earth side. Like we should have started her as Carol Danvers, or what is that her name?
Yeah, that's her
right.
human
And
name.
then we see her going to Veers, and then bring her back as Carol Danvers.
I think
I don't know about that because I mean, these are big spoilers if we want to get into it.
Well, this is the spoiler alert is out.
But the big twist wouldn't have been. I think you might have suspected more if you kind of started that way. They had to establish her allegiance to the Kree Empire first.
Yeah.
I think you were supposed to be confused.
Yeah. Well, not
Yeah, I'm supposed to be confused, but also, like, I think you're giving, like, the movie a little too much, like...
I'm just thinking what the writers were thinking.
Yeah, like, I think most people would have figured it
conveys.
out anyways.
Yeah.
I would say I had an issue with the fact that she seemed like she was like not a very good warrior at the beginning. Like she seemed like they were trying to train her more, and then they just give her a mission. Like I kind of felt like that they shouldn't have even brought up the fact that she couldn't control herself because like that didn't offer anything. To
she's
the
going
character.
to have a problem where they're going to make her as strong as she needs. She's gonna have the Superman problem.
But she's just as powerful as the situation needs.
Exactly.
Every single time.
Exactly. When they're going to need to demonstrate how powerful being is, they're going to have that person pummel her into the ground to, set the stage for how powerful this thing is. And then over time, the heroes come together and kick that alien's ass or whatever. Like she ripped through ships. She like flew through two spaceships. She stopped a missile, a missile bound for a planet that was going to probably blow it up. She stopped it and sent it back the other way and blew up more missiles of the same type. So like setting that as the bar, I guarantee you they're going to dial back her strength because she has to share the same stage as Black Widow. Like they have to
Right.
be on screen together. They can't just have Black Widow like jumping around a pole and being good looking, and then while she's like soaring through the stars and blowing up planets and shit. Like
Captain America, it doesn't seem like worthy of like the strength that's now on the Avengers.
Yeah.
When you have Thor and the Hulk and now Captain Marvel, it's like Captain America now just seems like a little wimp.
Especially when you have like other characters that are in the non-film version of it, like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Like you have two people who have super strength, and one is rhino skin. Like you can't even like injure the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
although if you hit him hard enough, he does go down.
Yeah, but only Iron Fist is the.
But no, the shotgun blast took him down. Do you know what I mean? Like he's
It's
not.
like
He's
a
not
balance
as
thing, right?
yeah.
It doesn't penetrate
Yeah.
him. But
I think you can rock his insides. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
I would say that there's an issue here too. Is like, why was she across the universe that whole time?
what?
Like she had a life on Earth that she like reignited, and then seemingly she was across the universe helping those aliens. We assume.
Well, she had to be gone for
No, but
plot purposes.
for that long.
Well,
You find a homeworld and you go,
wait.
okay, bye.
But that long, she probably ran into other issues.
Yeah.
You know,
Like but was she on Earth? Like that's the
No.
question.
No, probably
no.
not. No,
She was
probably
still with
not.
those.
'Cause
those
they-
No,
aliens.
not necessarily with them. She could. Universe is a big place.
she established that
Yeah.
that communicator she gave to Fury,
We're in a couple universes or
a couple
galaxies.
galaxies.
or
Yeah.
something.
So
No, but I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is that it's dumb that she would establish her life back here on Earth, and then be like, "Oh, I'm leaving with these people I don't know." Fair enough.
Yeah.
You go and settle them, then you would come back.
Not
You don't go like,
not
I'm gonna stay with
necessarily.
these aliens.
But what I'm saying is she may have been on her way back and ran into other issues.
But also,
Like
like,
what?
hold
The
on,
Kree,
hold on,
the
hold
entire
on, hold on.
Kree empire that's
yeah,
still out
hold
there.
on a second. There are other aliens that she's essentially like an intergalactic police officer. Okay, she has to deal with stuff.
No, she doesn't.
But at the same time, though,
That was never established.
No, but it could have been.
but hold on. But she also remember she had another life on another planet. As much as she realizes she is Carol Danvers, and
Yeah.
that is like her. She's like, I am Carol Danvers. Blah blah. She also has a life on another planet. Like she's
Yeah.
living. She has two halves.
She's been
of it.
exiled of that. She's been exiled from there.
But
She can't go back there.
but she still seems to have a bigger obligation to the universe. Like she can't just
She's not loyal.
She can't park
Yeah.
herself on Earth and be like, okay, I'm done with this. Like there's obviously bigger things she needs to deal with.
We just haven't seen it yet.
I don't think that. I don't think that's.
The
I
next
don't think
movie,
that's true.
The next movie might not follow the next Avengers. It could be her in the 2000s.
What do you mean the next movie?
Her next movie, the Captain Marvel 2.
But the Avengers is coming out.
Saying
Is there a Captain Marvel 2
eventually
confirmed?
What
Is there a Captain Marvel 2 confirmed?
No.
there probably will be though.
Yeah, that's what. So what I'm saying is, the next movie is Avengers. We're going to see
Yeah.
her in Avengers,
Yeah.
right? But Captain Marvel 2 might not necessarily have to take place right after the next Avengers.
It could take place in 2002.
right after the events of the first Captain Marvel.
Right.
Yeah.
So they could fill in that gap of what she was doing and why she wasn't on Earth. I also wonder why Fury didn't call her for the other Avengers films when it seemed like life was going to get destroyed on Earth.
Because this was literally a universal issue.
Or unless he thought his Avengers were good enough to stop and didn't need her.
Maybe that's what I'm assuming. Like I think for him it was in the moment he's like, people are disintegrating around me. Maybe I should trigger this. Because here's the thing though, like a lot of the internet commentary is where was she for the other Avengers movies? Like
They handled it.
yeah, they're
got the job
good.
done.
Yeah.
They had a Hulk and Thor, so yeah, I
Yeah.
guess they were good.
And all
they figured it out.
all the incidents are more or less isolated as well. This was planet wide and further than that.
Well, Fury couldn't have known that at the time.
But like that's like a real bad.
But you're right. People disappearing is pretty
People disappearing
crazy.
without there being shots fired or something is
Yeah.
real bad.
Yeah. He's lucky that she didn't disappear too, eh? Because then what would happen?
Yeah. So a lot of the theories for Avengers is that they're not going to reverse the. They're
Good.
not going to reverse the snap.
I don't want them to because that's a cop out. It's too
yeah.
easy.
Yeah. I don't want them to reverse it.
But wait a second here. I thought Spider-Man was confirmed as after.
It is.
It is confirmed as after the
So
Avengers.
something got reversed, or at least his did.
See, I'm convinced that they didn't. They're not going to get reversed. It's just going to snap to like a alternate quasi universe where they're separated. I think what the snap did on a production level is they literally just going to take half the heroes and they're just separating them, and then this is going to allow them to reintroduce Fantastic Four as Marvel has. Kevin Feige said
What do you mean by separating them? Like literally killing them off?
no, not separating. It's like separating the two separate streams. Like this is the branch with Spider-Man and Bucky and whoever. This is the one with the Avengers and
So, clearly, a lot of the contracts of the original Avengers are coming up or are completed after the next Avengers, right? So instead of killing off those characters or trying to make some reason why they're not there, it's that they were sent to like another universe with the snap, and then all the new characters who disappeared into dust
Right.
are actually in a new universe where they can continue on those movies.
So is it supposed to be like essentially a duplicate universe?
Yeah, and that was the case in the Marvel comics for a long time. There
Oh,
there
I
was
see.
two universes,
Oh, okay.
but they had duplicate characters.
So in this
There was
case,
two
they were-
Caps.
In this
and-
case, they're just moving the character.
yeah.
but if they do that though, you're gonna have.
You're gonna have some continuity problems, probably.
No, you're not continuity problems. Who gives a fuck? There's continuity problems now.
But I mean, like-
the
more-
MCU has continuity problems across the fucking
Like
board.
more glaring though.
Yes, but when you have other groups have already been like you have Rocket Raccoon who wasn't disintegrated. So if that is the case, how do you have a Guardians 3
But they're together.
when your guardians have been literally split up.
But like Rocket Raccoon's also like a crazy mechanic guy, so he'll probably make a portal and fucking go through it.
They're not gonna do that.
You sure?
I can see them doing that.
I could see that, especially with Rocket Raccoon.
They can make portals, but it might not be able to bring everyone back, but it could allow people to transfer between them.
And it would be
I
a
don't know,
goofy
it's
thing where he comes flying in, and they're like, "What the fuck?" That's exactly.
They would make it goofy.
Yeah.
But
This would also allow them to introduce the X-Men too,
and I think they do Fantastic Four as well.
and Fantastic Four. Yeah,
I don't like either of those. Fantastic Four is lame. I'm sorry, and so is X-Men.
the
Both
problem
lame.
with X-Men is there's so many of them.
It's too. It's
So
it's
if you
too
add them
variant.
back, it's just like this is too much.
It's way too much.
They have to do it slowly.
And what's funny is I think Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were in the comics. They were mutants, not Inhumans.
Yep, that's correct.
And so now they're going to be reclassified, or I don't know.
It's hard to say because that was one of the
Oh
green.
shit! The Inhumans, like that fucking thing we watched
Yes,
in theaters. That
Yeah.
fucking thing.
That's canon.
The
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's can't.
Wait, a second, is that happening on the moon?
Yeah, that's happening on
That's
the
happening
moon.
on the fucking
That's
moon.
happening on the moon. I'm also
Are
wondering.
they? Did they die too?
Yeah, so I'm wondering about the snap as well. What happened? What happened with the
only
dog?
the-
Did the dog go?
only the people that were in that mine died, and all the Richies still lived probably.
Oh God,
And the fucking
I forgot about that.
what's that dog's name? Fuck, I can't remember that. It's real
Bolt?
goofy.
No.
I don't know. I didn't watch that movie. Well, actually, I did.
Fuck.
It was bad.
I love.
Yeah, it
I
was
love
incredely
that,
bad.
The
You
CGI
guys
for
saw it
that
in
dog.
theaters.
Was, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
we saw it in
yeah.
theaters. I'm
100%.
gonna enjoy the popcorn more than the movie. But that actor is now Pike on Discovery, so
Wait. The main guy?
the one that didn't talk,
Yeah.
that's Pike.
Well, I hated him in
Yeah.
Inhumans. He's amazing in
Yeah, no, he's
Discovery.
fantastic. Yeah, I know,
Whoa.
and it's a shame because they muted him for the entirety
Yeah.
of Inhumans.
He's great.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah,
That
he's
dog's name
fantastic.
Is Lockjaw.
Literally 2 seconds.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw, yeah.
2 seconds on screen as Pike. I'm like, this guy.
Yeah.
This guy right there. He's got the uniform. He's got that
Oh yeah,
chiseled
it's the
jaw.
king. It's the king. That's right.
Yeah, that's him. That's Pike.
Man, thank God Inhumans did poorly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it what was I gonna say?
And humans is you're so rattled. That you just
Yeah. So okay, in humans. So contractually speaking, before Disney bought Fox, it was decided by a judge. They decided this in a court that Disney is allowed to use the Quicksilver character. The problem is though, Quicksilver is Magneto's son.
Is this? I wonder what the judge thought about all this. Like, oh Jesus!
There's
Imagine being in the court and being
there was,
like,
whether it was
we
a single,
decree
whether it
that
was a single
Quicksilver-
mediator or it was a group of them, whatever.
It's no different than any other copyright laws. It's just, do you own this property? That's it.
Okay, so it was decided that they can use Quicksilver. They can both use Quicksilver. Okay, so in Days of Future Past, I think it is,
Yep.
Quicksilver's in there.
Yep.
He is a mutant. He is Magneto's son. In Avengers, Quicksilver's in there. He is an Inhuman. It is never specified whether or not he is the son of a mutant, because in the Disney one, it says that they were not allowed to use the word mutant. They cannot call them. You cannot use the word mutation, mutant. They are
Can't use the word mutation.
inhuman.
Well, you can't use the mutation to describe their
Oh,
powers.
okay.
Yeah. But in the Marvel comics, in the Marvel comics universe, the Inhumans and mutants are two different things. They're actually, one is your powers are given to you or granted to you after a point. One of them was you were born with them.
Oh my lord!
That's our Marvel minute.
All right, Matt, what are you up to?
Still messing around in Red Dead. So I went to the old map.
Did you find any more haunted, creepy cabins?
I found a pretty cool thing actually. So do you remember the strange man that we were talking about?
Yeah.
You know who Herbert Moon is?
No.
So in the first game,
Oh,
the general store owner.
Yeah, you know what? That rings a bell.
So I went to Armadillo. No, is it Armadillo or is it
The main town is Armadillo.
Armadillo? The one that's okay, that's right. So I went to Armadillo, and I always get Tumbleweed and that confused. Anyway, so I went to Armadillo, and it's during the right now is the time period. Okay, do you remember in the first game, Bonnie McFarlane mentions that she just came back from a trip because Armadillo was having like a cholera outbreak.
Yeah.
So right now it's the cholera.
Goddamn cholera.
Right now is the cholera outbreak, but Herbert Moon's totally fine. And I went up to him, and was talking to him, and he has this picture of the strange man behind him. And John asked him, he was like, "Who is that guy? Like, what's that portrait?"
This is in Red Dead 2?
Red Dead 2. And Herbert Moon goes, "I don't know who it is. I don't know who gave it to me, but I do like it, and so I hang it there." And John's like, "That's weird. He looks really familiar."
Motherfucker.
So yeah, that's pretty
I don't
good.
think there's answers. I think they're just creating mysteries.
No, this is like a serious.
Think about how much more easy it would be, though, just to make a bunch of mysteries and put them in there for people to discover and let them make up their own minds of what's going on.
That's how Lost ran for fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, I might, when I play Red Dead 2, I might have to play Red Dead right after it.
That's what Marty was just wanting to do. He wanted to play Red Dead again.
I'm hoping they come up with an HD version. I doubt they will, but I'm hoping.
But apparently it on Xbox One they upscale it and it looks
looks really
fantastic.
fucking
Apparently
nice.
it looks
I've
fantastic.
seen it, but
Problem is though, there's no PC version, right?
as far as I know.
no, there's not. No.
Yeah, so for me, I would have to dig out my 360.
There's something going on though in the map. So like I'm done the story, I'm just exploring, and I haven't done this part yet. But online, I was watching some videos, and somebody found some people looking at you from Mexico. So you know how there's like that.
This is in Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2. So you know how there's that bridge in Red Dead 1 that you go across to Mexico? Like you unlock the bridge and then you go across it eventually. In Red Dead 2, you can go to that area, and if you pull up binoculars, there's people that are like scouting you out on top of a big like rock hang in Mexico looking at you. And if you look at them, they like point at you or something. So they're looking at you for some reason.
What happens when you try to approach them?
You can't because they're in Mexico. You can't go to Mexico. And you know what's hilarious? John still can't swim. That's lore. So John can't swim in the first game, and it's because he actually can't swim. So in this game, can't swim. Pretty good.
Fuck this game. I haven't even played it. I'm already
Pretty good.
getting worked up over it. So side story. I don't think I put it in there because I think I forgot to add it. So there was somebody dug through a recent Windows update build, and they found some stuff in there relating to Xbox 360 emulation
In a what?
in a Windows build.
Interesting.
So they think it might be possible. They think they think they might have found a way for Windows 10, I'm assuming, maybe even an earlier one, to just natively run a 360 game. How fucking awesome would it be if you could just pop open your disk tray, put in a 360 game, and just go?
What I'm seriously curious about is whether that is anything to do with the X Games service.
X Games?
I think it's called X Games, right? It's like the working title, isn't it? It's like their streaming service. I thought it was called X Games.
I don't know if it's X Games.
I've never
It's a
heard
working
X Games.
title though. It's definitely a temporary title, so it seems. But
You're
I know that X Games is a real thing, but this was like a working title, I believe.
not talking about the quick download thing, are you?
No. This was like the game streaming service that Microsoft was working on. We've
okay.
discussed it before.
Okay.
I'm wondering whether that's it, whether they would stream it, and it would need some sort of emulation. Because even that would
But
be
if you're streaming it, you don't need emulation on the console, or on the computer or the OS.
No, what Adriano might be right is it might just be able to read the disc, get the license, and then you would stream it.
Okay.
I would rather have it just run it natively.
Yeah, I would prefer that as well, but that might be what they're up to. But this might bring the whole as if Xbox Live is running as a service now. Because Xbox Live is everywhere. Like it's going to Switch, it's coming to phones and stuff. They're probably going to try to move their collection everywhere.
I wonder if they think people are going to move more and more to PC gaming, and they'll just have a cheap $200 Xbox console for the people who don't want to buy a $2,000 gaming PC.
I think they're coming for Steam.
Or that they could be doing that.
Because it's like what console do you have? Like, do you want to have an Xbox and a PC, and you want to buy it once and not twice?
Mm-hmm.
Buy it on our service.
Yeah, I think Xbox something snapped and they saw a 15-year plan, and they are quickly setting the foundation for that.
I think that's Phil Spencer. I think Phil Spencer really gets it.
Absolutely, yeah, he absolutely.
From day one, I think he got
who
it.
was the Shamil before him? Don Matrick.
Don
Yeah,
Matrick.
no, yeah, he clearly just he was always in the moment, and he was never thinking one step ahead. No, Phil's on the money. He knows.
But I wonder if he's also seeing that there's more room to grow in the PC market than the Xbox market, because the Xbox is like selling like half of what Sony's selling right now. And so I think
But
it's a harder hill to climb fighting Sony right now. Next gen could be a whole different deal, but right now they have a huge PC market that Sony can't even get into.
Yes. But it's when the next generation, when those PlayStation people have to decide where to go.
Yeah.
Like that I think will also, I'm very interested to see those numbers.
Yeah.
You know what's super interesting about this is the fact that Xbox Live is going on to Switch. Does that mean that Microsoft may not have a mobile console next generation? Like,
Well, that's why I said. do you mean like an actual mobile console?
I'm wondering how mobile this next generation of consoles is going to be.
They might just see the Switch as a mobile.
That's what I mean, and so they're gonna start partnering with people like Nintendo, but they're doing this so early that if that pans out, they're gonna be the king of everything.
But
seriously.
but they're already planting that they are putting Hellblade on Switch. Now a Microsoft.
That sounds difficult.
They announced, like, it's been officially announced. Hellblade is coming to
but
Switch.
that sounds like a tough task.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, with the-
so
with
there's
Microsoft money,
now a Microsoft-owned studio now putting a Microsoft game on a Nintendo platform.
Like these other guys got to wake up. This is like there's a titan that they woke them up. They woke them up really. Someone commented on our podcast that said that too on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
and I responded to him. They said they woke up the sleeping giant or something like that.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
like
for sure.
Honestly.
Speaking of PC consoles, I'm building a PC myself.
Oh yeah,
I got 2 parts right now. I'm pretty excited.
You get the Ryzen 5. Was it 2600X?
Yeah.
I always forget the numbers. And then
I'm kind of feeling like I should have gotten the Ryzen 7 though.
Did you break the seal already?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, for the price, I think you're good.
Because
honestly.
with the cost savings, in my budget, I'm able to get a 2080 now instead.
I was gonna say because you're upgrading your graphics card, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I think the Ryzen 7 can just be swapped with the Ryzen 5. I think the motherboard works with both. So
There you go.
As far as I know, yeah.
So if I really wanted it in like a year or two, it'd be fine.
But even then, like honestly, like you're not gonna max out that CPU, so who cares?
No.
And,
But I just noticed
the GPU would be maxed out eventually.
I just noticed there's some games that recommend an i7, an Intel i7.
Right.
And the equivalent is the Ryzen 7.
But the thing is, though, is you got to remember that you got to look at the number after the i7. They might be saying i7
It's
from
older.
2 years ago.
It's older CPUs generally.
So then,
Yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
So why Ryzen? Why not go with an i7 or an i9?
It's just the cost.
it's much cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper.
It's much cheaper.
Yeah.
And the boards, I think are guaranteed for longer. I can't remember how many years.
I think though, if I were building another one, I'd still go with an i7 at least, maybe an i9. I would just fork it out.
You're paying that income. You're paying that income tax. You're paying that Intel tax. Intel is like a real big markup. Like what was the difference? Like
I paid like $280. What that's after taxes.
$280, and it was on sale.
And the i5 I think was like $350 or something like that.
The i5 was.
Yeah.
The i5 is $350.
The i7s are like $500.
Yeah.
And the
At least.
i9s are like don't even look at them.
Man, I must have fucking got a fantastic deal. on my system.
If you get a bundled deal, yeah.
I got a fantastic deal on my
because they
system.
bulk bought them, right?
Yeah.
And the i9's more or less for enthusiasts. No one really does that.
You need to be doing some serious work.
That's
Good.
like that's like
Then I'm perfectly content with my i7.
because that's like Threadripper on
Yeah.
with the Ryzen. You don't want.
Although if I
too
could,
much.
I would probably get an i9 too. Why not?
Too much. The problem is that it's too much and you won't use it.
Right.
It'd be a difference if it was like, let's just crank it up. Then okay.
Yeah.
But you're not running 8 4K screens or something crazy. You know what I mean?
No. The display, I'll have to see what to do about that. I might just use my TV though. I think
Just use that thing.
No.
I can use that one too.
You can also use that. I actually enjoy playing games. I enjoy playing games on my desk more than a TV.
I have a switcher behind my desk. I don't use it anymore, but back in the day when I used to play games on PC, it was a HDMI switcher. And I would click it, and it would just switch to the TV. It would just shut off my screens.
The one you sent me. I bought
that's
that.
right,
I
yeah.
have that. I use that as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It
It literally just shuts the one off.
And it's because I tried a digital one, and that one fucking sucked because the signal it relied on power from the wherever it was coming from. So like my Xbox would just cut in and out because it was cheap on power. So then I'm like, fuck this. And then the actual bypass one, and that one works perfectly.
So you know that NVIDIA cards, they have that like ray tracing technology in it? Do you guys know about this?
I've heard of it. I didn't look it up too much.
Apparently, though, if you switch it on, not many games support it, but if you switch it on the games that do, it basically cuts your frame rate in half.
Fantastic.
So you're doing it for this slight increase in like lighting quality and reflections and stuff, but you're cutting your frame rate in half.
And that's why I feel like PC technology is kind of plateaued.
But this might be more for, and I have not looked at this up, but this might be more for SLI, where you might kind of like with SLI, you could dedicate one card to physics. Maybe you can dedicate one to ray tracing like this, and so you have one running game.
Should you ever SLI?
Maybe.
Should you ever be doing that with the two of the exact same cards, or could you just do it with two random cards?
You can do it with two randoms, but one will bottleneck the other if they're different. I used to do with two different, and it would clock down to the older one.
You had three, for God's sake.
I had three.
Holy Christ!
I was using some like experimental driver that made it so it didn't clock down to the slower one. It was a bit of a disaster. But
wasn't your third card just to toss that one frame, that one drop frame? In?
Yeah, it was before like it was for like less stuttering.
Jeez.
Yeah. So you would see like the usage would be like 000 up, 000 up, 000 up, because it would just like throw a couple frames in here and there.
Fuck. You're crazy, Matt.
Yeah, it was
You crazy
I'm not
motherfucker.
doing that again. It's too stressful.
Crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's way
You know
too
what's
much.
crazy
man.
is I was called crazy for spending $1,500 on graphics cards back then, and now it's like $1,000 for one.
Yeah.
So, and I had three. So
It's amazing watching like most of the tech guys on YouTube are like American, and watching them quote the prices.
Yeah. It's
And like being like, this is expensive. This is a $600 card. I'm like,
I
we're paying
would
$1,000
fucking
up here.
Yeah, I would fucking kill to pay 600. It's like the podcast I listen to. They're talking about like the price of consoles. Like they're like, oh, an Xbox One now you can get for like $229 on sale, like $249 regular. I'm just like, oh, that's fucking amazing. I would drop $229 right now for a new piece of hardware.
Like people complained about the prices of the new 20 or 2000 series Nvidia cards. It was like 600, 700, and like 1,000. And I was like, that would be amazing if that was the prices here.
at least you can get them now.
Yeah.
The difference is, there's a different standard of living. Like $600
Yes.
is detrimental to an American. It's nothing really for us.
All right, the top of the stories for this week. Starting off E3. Not much E3 left.
Ain't what it used to be.
So there's a bit.
what it used
I don't
to
know.
be.
Bethesda hasn't
Ain't
confirmed
what
yet,
it
right?
Used to be.
But I was about to say Bethesda is the newest comer, like newest.
So it'd be strange for
person
them
to
to
come
drop
in.
out so soon, but who knows?
I think I feel like they're like, nah, we started now. We have to have at least 7 years in before we.
Well, I was gonna say I think
Bow
they're
out.
probably going to be going in damage control mode.
So Microsoft confirmed. I don't think we've heard from Ubisoft, so they could still drop out. Who knows what
I
they're doing.
absolutely believe they're gonna be on. They have to have their dancers for Just Dance.
Yeah,
like
that's
they
right,
have
Just
to
Dance,
showcase
yeah.
that somehow. Like
Contracts are already signed. They gotta-
where else is anyone actually going to give them the time of day to announce a Just Dance? Like that is their only time of year where they say, "Look, we have this game."
But I feel like the Just Dance community is like, they know when a new Just Dance game comes out. They're not going to miss it. E3 does not make them aware of it. They know if a Just Dance game's coming out.
And last year they didn't have Aisha Tyler there. They had they just did like the individual hosts, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that means they're
Was
they're
it was
not
a
as-
weird
they're not as
Assassin's
invested
Creed
in the show.
Was a weird Assassin's Creed guy in the audience, or am I?
What?
Weird Assassin's Creed guy.
There
Who
was
the hell is that?
some weirdo in the audience dressed up as a character. Maybe he's not Assassin's
Oh,
Creed.
she went and interviewed him, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And he was like very strange, like very odd guy.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Was that Assassin's Creed, or am I making that up?
I can't remember.
I think he was wearing an Assassin's Creed outfit.
Yeah, he was like wearing like the weird Victorian syndicate, maybe like a top hat or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Steampunkish, maybe. I might have just dreamt this, but
I'm about to say I don't remember
So-
this, but I mean,
Sony isn't doing any press conference, and I guess they'll just have games there. Maybe I don't even know if they're
no, they're gonna be.
are
crying.
they out of it entirely.
I think they're probably gonna keep the booth space or like their floor space because they have to if they don't they have to put something there if they don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
But they're probably gonna just be crying in the corner.
And so EA is not even going to do a press conference this year. They're still doing their EA Play thing, which is taking place on June 7th through the 9th. So it's still around E3 time, but there's no conference. What they're going to do instead is they want to see less talk and more play. And they say, we're skipping the press conference this year and are replacing it with multiple live streams that will air during the first 2 days of the event, bringing you more of what you've told us you want, more gameplay and insights from the teams making the games.
Or you can spend time developing a game that isn't so fucking broken. That could
Finish the Star Wars game for once, too.
finish a Star Wars game, fix your fucking Anthem. Man, that creates weird uncertainty for E3.
Do you know what this sounds like? This sounds like they're making all these games that are live and they last for years. And so
You run out of
what are
games.
they making? You have teams
Do
that are
you
sitting there just doing
think-
updates.
Well, because they also just opened up E3 to the public, and now E3 seems to be dissolving before everyone's eyes.
But I mean, that was also what Sony wanted it to be, though, a place for the fans to go and celebrate games, not just have all the industry people and press. But without them there, it's like, what's the reason of going? Mm-hmm. Why would I go?
Also, like, how do you cover like EA said they're doing what, like, entire weekend of streaming?
Live streams, yeah.
Okay, like, so are you going to are all the major sites like IGN or Polygon or whoever, are
IGN's
they just
probably still gonna have a booth.
are they are they going to do
Coverage.
Yeah,
constant commentary coverage over the entire weekend?
that's what they did. That's what they always do.
I mean, they might just carry the stream. So you can still go to IGN.com and still watch the EA Play stream. Or you can just go to Twitch and watch EA's own stream. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let me rephrase it. If we were going to do live coverage and we only had 2 hours to etch out to our fans, what 2 hours of the EA weekend do we pick? Like,
Yeah.
what is the big EA moment?
I think there'll probably be a schedule.
Yeah.
I would say that if they're less formal live streams, which it kind of sounds like they might be, I would say that IGN would just keep doing the floor interviews. You know how like they bring in the people and they just kind of talk to you.
Fucking hate it.
But that's usually when when E3 actually starts.
Yeah, but that's
Which is like the
I
Tuesday.
assume that's what this will turn into. We got to remember here, CES is not covered live that much. Like a couple of years ago, I couldn't really find a live stream other than TechCrunch,
Right.
and so like I think that might be going the way of CES for games.
Although CES was pretty big this year.
Yeah, a lot of fridges
a
and
lot
stuff.
of live streams kind of came back this year. Stuff.
Okay, so do you think Bethesda on stage or publicly live, however, addresses the disastrous
Oh yeah.
execution
I
of
think-
Fallout 76?
yeah,
Do you think they're going
and-
to look at a
yes.
camera and address that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think they're gonna show us Starfield for this year.
Do you think EA is going to do the same thing about Anthem?
No.
You don't think they're going to?
That doesn't seem well. What's his name? The guy from BioWare might Casey
Well,
Hudson, is that his name?
Because also with Battlefront, they kind of had. I can't remember exactly what they said about. They're like, oh, we're working to.
They were pushing out the Clone Wars update.
No, but like, wasn't there somebody on stage appealing at last E3, appealing to the new Battlefront 2 system and like saying, like,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
committed to this forward. We hope you come back. Blah blah blah. Like, wasn't that a thing with?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think it's possible for them to do something similar with Anthem?
It depends on where Anthem's at that time.
The problem, maybe, yeah, because Anthem's broken. Battlefront was just misguided.
Controversial with
Yeah.
the loot boxes.
I want to know like how there aren't more. Maybe there are smaller ones, so we don't hear about them. How there aren't more like false advertising claims, because like the Anthem was advertised as a working
It's
product.
probably just not worth the time, right?
What do you mean it's not worth the time?
You gotta go.
EA is a
You gotta,
huge
you, gotta,
company.
you gotta go find a lawyer and then hire the lawyer and then pay the lawyer and then hope you win a case.
But why
and
isn't
it's
it
gonna-
capital?
It's
Why
gonna take
isn't
like
it
a couple years, and it's just
What is it? What do they call that? Like when it's a big lawsuit?
Class action.
That's it. Why isn't it a class action?
Somebody still needs to take the reins on it. Like somebody still needs to go and deal with the lawyer.
Yeah.
Like and a bunch of people who want a class action lawsuit just doesn't make it magically happen. Like it's not like a will that just class action. Like somebody still has to
it
go
to be
deal
a
with the
thing.
lawyer.
It has to be like a proper procedure.
Yeah.
speaking of EA, Jedi Fallen Order. We're gonna get some new details on this during Star Wars Celebration, which is a big Star Wars convention.
When is that?
It's gonna be one sentence of them saying it's coming out soon.
Scheduled April 11th to the 15th.
Wouldn't you think that would be on May 4th? Like the Star Wars convention, when you think that would be on May 4th?
It kind of moves around, I think,
That's weird.
and it moves city to city. It's not always in the same place.
City part I get, but
It even moves around the world. So I think it just depends on whatever. But we have very little information on Jedi Fallen Order.
we have the basic plot or the premise of it.
Yeah.
Some Jedi who survived Order 66, and now she's
Running around.
running around.
Yeah.
like, here's the thing though. Reading all the new canon, there's actually quite a few Jedi that seem to have survived Order 66. Like, I'd say probably 15 plus.
It makes sense because there was like about 10,000 Jedi at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. To kill all of them, a lot of them are going to be skilled too. Or a lot of them weren't even in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Some of them were off on planets doing their own thing, doing other missions.
Yeah.
You know, so
like it's hard to believe that they were so unsuccessful in, like, they had to have had a contingency plan for the remaining Jedi to really continue on. Like, it's hard to believe, like, looking at the end of Revenge of the Sith, beginning of New Hope, to believe that, like, there's like no Jedi and they're not working to rebuild in any way.
well, we've seen what happened to them. They got hunted down.
Yeah, but like, there's got to be like
Vader's Inquisitors went around and hunted them down.
But there's got to be more. Like,
You think there's still some out there? In
like
the
there's got to be
crevices?
some out there, and they had to have been better than like.
I think the problem. I think it's very difficult to hide. You make noise when you're a Jedi, I guess, because they've been trained their entire life to help people, and so when you start helping people and people start rallying around you and stuff, you get the Empire's attention, and then the Empire comes and wipes you out.
I just, between old and new canon or old and new trilogy, it just there's something doesn't quite fit. The two of them together don't quite fit. The old and new trilogy.
It's funny too because the Jedi are supposed to be relatively
Peacekeeping and monk-esque,
Well, yes,
but they're generals in a fucking war.
Yes. Well, then, no, it makes sense given their downfall. They made a bunch of mistakes, and the council wasn't perfect, and that's why they also failed. They moved away from what a Jedi was supposed to be, and became warriors, and that's when they failed. So that makes sense. And I forgot what my other point was.
I'll come back to you.
Do we know what this game's genre is? Like, is it a live game or what is
Well,
this?
I don't know because I didn't put it in the. There was another story you sent about Amy Hennig talking about why their Star Wars game, visceral Star Wars game, failed, and she talked about how the Frostbite engine is made for first-person shooters, and they were trying to make a third-person action-adventure game, and they were apparently having difficulty doing that.
What? I thought Frostbite ran everything that they do.
Most of the EA produces is
What about
first-person
Need for
shooters.
Speed? Need for Speed is not a first-person shooter.
No, but it's you're just driving a car around. That's not.
yeah,
that's
but
not
just
changing.
driving a car around is much different than running around with a gun.
No,
No,
shooting a gun.
But like a static box is probably easier to handle than a
lightsaber swinging around.
than a person with limbs and a laser sword.
In multiple movesets
Yeah,
and stuff.
But you can
like
do,
when you
can do Battlefront
render
third
that
person.
car, very little that is changing on screen. Not a person with robes and
the Jedi in Battlefront handle pretty poorly.
yeah,
So
You can do third person in Battlefront,
yeah, and it feels like shit.
but like it's still doable.
So is Respawn's this it's Respawn, right? Doing this is it in Frostbite?
probably every EA game's in Frostbite.
Fuck. Wow.
Anthem
But that was
Anthem is
Visceral.
too, then?
That was Visceral having trouble with the Frostbite engine. We don't know how these other teams are going to do. And that's just what Amy Hennig said. So I don't know.
Man, give it to Ubisoft. I want to see what they do.
All right, let's move on. Xbox One with no disc drive is apparently in the works.
Why have an Xbox with no disc drive when you can have a brick PS4 with an Anthem disc?
Fuck.
Codenamed Xbox Maverick, what might actually be called Xbox One S All Digital Edition.
Okay, that is a horrible name.
Correct.
That is a fucking horrible name.
It clears up confusion as to you're not going to buy this and expect discs.
Why don't you just call it Xbox One Digital?
Or simple
Xbox One D
Exactly. That was exactly the feeling. Call it the Xbox One D.
for digital.
Done.
You have to have something where parents or whoever can go to the store and be
Yeah.
like, I want the S, the
Or the
one,
all digital
the D.
edition.
No, they don't want to remember
just
all
call
that. They're
it
not
the
going to say
Xbox
all
One
that.
D. That's
But
it.
it's a variation on the S, I think.
That's fine.
So it's the Xbox One S.
So
That's
call
fine.
it the
all
D.
digital
yeah.
edition. You want to call it the D?
Call it, call it specifically the D. Yeah,
they
that's the way.
regretted
Jesus.
Xbone because they missed that.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's
So
fine.
now you want them to call it the D.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Guess what?
That's exactly what I
You
want.
know, if Phil Spencer's as cool as he is on stage, he'll be okay with
I'm
it.
sure the marketing team shot that down pretty quick.
They'll play into it. Okay.
All right, then fine. Call it Xbox One Digital then, and
Yeah.
in all pieces.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah.
Because it'll get shortened to D anyways.
I like how instead of us being excited about the fact they're doing a change, we're screaming about the name.
I'm sorry, but
Jesus
like Sony sucks with their naming because it's Sony's coming with a new service. I wonder what word they're gonna put after PlayStation to name their new service, and then Xbox is no better. They're dumber. They're just as dumb in a different direction.
So pre-orders are apparently going to start in April and go on sale around May. Now, here's the interesting part. They're also going to launch a disc-to-digital program. And I guess, according to the report, they're going to be working with not only their own stores, the Microsoft stores, but Best Buy and potentially others, that you bring in your disc, your physical disc, and you swap it for a digital code at these retailers.
Ooh, that's not too bad. I don't mind that.
But what's weird about that is, here they are, Best Buy sells video games. Why would they trade in your game for a digital version?
Because
Because
Best Buy doesn't exclusively sell video games.
right, but still, they're not going to be happy about
But
that.
they're not going to be happy. But also, like you still need a Best Buy to sell the actual console.
Also,
like they're fine.
And they can sell the codes online.
Yes, and Best Buy might get a small cut of them doing this. If EB or GameStop did this, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? You're literally digging your own grave."
In this article from GameSpot you pulled, whoever was writing it threw in their own opinion.
Their editorial.
Did you read the article?
No, I didn't get that part.
They said that the stores need to adapt instead of relying on trying to sell physical copies of games.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it's because if Best Buy can successfully offer physical, probably cardboard little things with the codes on them, people during Christmas or whatever can still if they're going to the store, like if it's a parent going to the store purchasing, that's probably when they sell most of their physical games. They can buy the card still.
The card still, because also remember, like you're talking about a massive amount of the population who don't necessarily have credit cards. And to go an all digital system, online,
that's good too.
You need those magic 16 digits, and if you don't have that, you're going to the store with cash or debit to buy those cards. So like, there's still that avenue for Best Buy to survive another 2.5 years if they're lucky.
Yeah, and who knows whether there's some sort of deal that they made with them. I don't know. And they're still going to be selling the consoles.
Yeah.
So, but
until Amazon locks that down.
If this can reduce the price quite a bit, that's not too bad. I'd have no problem buying a discless console next gen.
Okay. How much? Let's say it's out right now. How much would the D have to be for you to buy it? Canadian.
Like $250.
$250?
Canadian?
Yeah.
It's just that disc drive doesn't add that much cost.
No, it doesn't. But he's asking me what I would buy it for.
What would you have to
what
buy?
I would buy it for?
Yeah.
Like right
Xbox
now, or I don't
Xbox
have one.
One S remodeled as a D.
And I think I bought that Xbox One S for $300. So,
Are you saying that I don't have one, or in the current?
You don't
state?
have one.
I don't have one.
You're in the market for an Xbox. You are going to buy one. You're going to buy the D.
$350.
You pay $350 for that?
Yeah, it's all because you got to remember here that all this is doing is replacing something I'm hardly using anyway now. I've put the Red Dead disc in there, and I've left it in there the whole time, and I've had the Fallout 76 disc in my PS4 since launch.
You pay $350 for an Xbox discless drive?
The drive offers very little value now.
What I'm saying is that's too much in my books.
Why is that too much? I'm talking Canadian dollars here.
Yeah, that's too much.
What the disc?
$299 max. $249.
Wasn't the console $500 when it was new?
Yes, but
this is $350.
I'm talking about right now today.
Yeah.
So it's a few years in.
Okay.
You pay $350 for a discless Xbox One?
I'd say $300 to $350 because generally it'll come with a game. Generally, right? Like a code.
The console's in its second half of its life. It's going to be replaced probably with another gen. Like it's safe to assume it's in the later half of its life, right?
Yeah.
So why would you be paying more than half
up,
of the initial launch cost?
I want to look up how much an Xbox One S costs today in Canada. Xbox One S.
It's probably like $329.
it might be $350. Could be $400.
It says $299. However, I think this is on sale.
I got mine on sale too when I got it for $300.
But anyway, so at this time, whether it's a sale or not, I can buy it for $299 Canadian.
Okay. So why would you be buying a discless one for $50
because
more?
for this exact reason, right here, there's one here that's an Xbox One S, 1 terabyte console with Sea of Thieves bundle, which is $359 Canadian. But what I'm assuming is that I'm not getting a 500 gigabyte hard drive. I'm getting rid of that disk drive, which is like a lesser, like I'm getting a more expensive part that's bigger, so a bigger hard drive, and getting rid of that disk drive, which is a cheaper part in general. So I'd be getting a 1 terabyte minimum console. Would be my assumption.
Aren't those S's 1 terabyte anyways? That fucking digital better have 2 terabytes.
Well, no, actually, yes. So there are Xbox One S's that are 1 terabyte, and there's ones that are 500 here that I'm looking at.
I think mine's 500.
That's a 500.
I think so.
I think that's the standard one, but I'm not really sure.
It's bad. It's real bad. I have 4 games on there.
You think that's bad? I got a 32 gigger iPhone right there. It's good. My apps are constantly cleaning themselves because they have to scrub that information.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what comes up.
That thing better be standard issue 2 terabytes. If they try,
I don't think it
But
needs
now,
2.
now
I
you
don't
want
think it needs
250 for 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
hard
that's
drives
too much.
are incredibly cheap.
It doesn't
Yes.
matter. Yeah,
Hard
but you're
drives
still
are
adding.
incredibly cheap.
Yeah, so adding $50.
You're taking away the savings that they're getting from getting rid of the disk drive.
Yeah.
They are also
They probably made refinements to it. You're
yes,
right.
absolutely. They're making
manufacturing
refinements to it. Okay, if you're taking out that fucking disk drive, visualize a disk sitting on top of that console right now. Okay, you can get rid of 40 to 55% of that console.
Assuming there's nothing under it. I've never opened an Xbox
Okay,
One.
hold on. So assuming you can get, do you know how much space is in there they can get rid of to begin with? You get rid of that console. You're minimizing that thing to like 60% of its original size.
Yeah, there's one less
You're now
header.
decreasing the packaging, which means you're getting more units per container, which means they're getting more over per shipment.
Possibly a smaller power supply. Possibly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how
So,
much power that particular thing uses.
Them taking that out takes out. They immediately add so many more units to the shipping container. That
Oh yeah, that would save
greatly brings down the cost.
I think the Xbox One X is smaller than the One S.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that might be true.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
it
that
might be
supports my
smaller in
argument
one
more.
dimension. It might be smaller in one dimension.
Yeah, but I remember them saying it was smaller.
I think
There you go.
it's less tall,
which
I
is
think.
insane. Yeah.
There you go. They're 250. Yeah, I stand by that.
All right. The one PlayStation news we got is the PS4 Remote Play app launched for iOS. Did it launch for Android? I only saw it say iOS. Right?
It was Android, I think.
Yeah.
Want me to take a look?
Yeah, please.
No, please do. Bing that shit, Matt.
I'm on the Play Store.
So, Adrian,
Bing your Android phone to tell you about PlayStation.
Adrian, you booted this up. What was your experience?
So before I even booted it up, I tried to get a PS4 controller to connect to iOS. That cannot happen. Xbox One controller cannot connect to iOS. They do not have this thing called, how do you describe it? MFI?
Yeah.
MFI, which is complete horseshit. But nevertheless, I booted up. It immediately found the console. Well, actually, sorry, it immediately found the console once I fixed it. So it didn't find the console first. I'm like, something's not right here. I turned on, there you go. I turned on my PS4. My PS4 needed a software update to be able to do it.
Right.
And then once it had it, I put it back into standby. I tried it. It's, as long as you have a clean network. The problem is, though, there's a lot of traffic on my network. It was lagging.
You need a new router.
Matt,
a good router.
Matt, doesn't matter. I have
A good router.
I have people in and out of my house all day. Like on a good Sunday, I have 9 people crammed in my house. On a bad
doesn't
Sunday,
matter.
I have like 16 people crammed in my
That's
house.
fine. You still need a good router.
All Wi-Fi, all ripping through it. Like I have 40 megs down.
Yeah.
That gets immediately split up. Like it's not.
No, but you need traffic management. Like that's like saying like I just don't fix the road because it's busy. That's literally the same statement in a different context. I just leave this road as a dirt road because it's busy. Doesn't make any sense.
Did it turn on my soundbar?
Yeah, because
Is that what that noise is?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's
Or is that my phone?
It's your phone.
Okay. I just want I with my headphones on, I couldn't hear where it was kind of coming from. This is pretty cool, but I don't know how you would play a game with this.
I don't know, because you can use a non-Sony and non-Xbox controller with that thing. Like if you get an MFI controller properly connected, it should work.
Wait, do we know that for sure?
But the game also has to support it. It's also on a per game basis,
Right.
apparently.
It is not available on Android. I only have second screen.
That's what.
No. So there's second screen. So PlayStation has 4 apps: PlayStation,
Oh my
PlayStation
God.
Messages, Second Screen, and Remote Play.
And video.
And video. Sorry, they have there's
And
like
communities.
And group.
and communities groups.
Groups, yeah.
They also have 2 Gran Turismo companion apps, which I find kind of weird. But so
I lost connection when I just moved away from the app.
there you go. I tried because so then what happens? It gives you virtual controls.
Yeah.
I tried for fun to play Geometry Wars just to see how that would go.
Which needs good reaction time.
Yeah, it needs
And
precision.
how did that
reaction.
go? And this
Not
is with
very
an is this with an MFI controller?
No, this was with a touch interface. I had my thumbs on the thing.
Okay.
That did not go well.
Yeah, I was going to say it probably did not go well.
Like just try playing Resogun on there. See how that goes.
Oh, I booted up Assassin's Creed.
There you go.
You're playing Assassin's Creed on your friggin' iPhone.
I will be shortly.
You know what I'm always afraid of with these things?
It looks
is-
pretty nice.
Of course, when it's condensed down to that fucking size.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, it looks good.
I'm always afraid of the console freezing.
But I mean,
You're in your house, I guess.
but not only that, even if it did, it has an auto off. I'm not sure if that works when it's frozen or not, but it's not going to burn down the house.
No, I'm not worried like in that sense. I just don't want my console on for no reason.
Why?
Are you just sitting there playing Assassin's Creed? Is that what that noise is?
Yeah.
Why? What Wes does that? His console's on all fucking day.
I don't know why.
I have a
that.
permanent friend that always like my thing always says one friend
Yeah.
online at least because
I have a
'Cause he's
friend that
incapable.
leaves both of his consoles on, PS4 and his Xbox all the time.
man, I don't get that.
And he's always like, "Why would I turn them off?" I'm like, "What do you mean you're
because you're
leaving?
paying electricity, bud.
Fuck the electricity. Why are you leaving them on? You're not using it. You're like, just leave the TV on. Why?
I hide myself. I appear offline. I don't want you people to know I'm online.
What's going on over there?
Okay, right away, the analog stick was not. There's a lag to it, right?
Oh yeah,
And
there's
so-
a huge fucking lag.
When you have like a cursor on the menu, and when you like select continue game or whatever, like it flies past where you meant to like stop it because it thinks you're still putting input onto it. That was weird.
Fantastic.
Let's see how this goes. Now, Assassin's Creed gets pretty fast paced too, so
I mean, that's probably not going to work out that well.
yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our last story here.
If I actually turn on your TV, your PlayStation's still running the feed, so I can actually I want to see what you're actually.
I'm surprised though it didn't.
Matt, give me that
it didn't
remote.
turn on the TV because it's intelligent enough to not to do that.
Yeah, it knows you're on a stream, so it's like okay.
That's pretty good.
But if I were to turn this on right now, I would actually.
Well, it's funny that we're like, looking at this because the Vita does this too.
And that's what I was trying to think is like how quickly did they have to work on this? Like was this a reaction to something?
Who knows, eh?
And I'm thinking I'm like when I think about it, I'm like, you know what, they probably had this in the back pocket for a while because if like this is just a remake of the Vita software.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
they're-
admittedly though, that's their hardware as well. Like it's
But they also required all games to support Game Pass or remote play. So maybe they're trying to get use out of it.
maybe
They had all these developers put in this time to make it support it, and then no one
think
plays the Vita anymore.
I think they had this. I think they had this ready to go for a while. They just waited for some sort of Xbox announcement, and then they just said, "All right, fuck
And why
it,
not
here."
Android? Why isn't it on Android yet?
That's kind of weird. That is weird.
I mean, admittedly, this might be more of a beta, and then so they doing iOS and then Android.
I don't. Maybe it has to do with something like that. You can connect a PlayStation and Xbox controller to Android.
And they don't want that?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could kind of hack some stuff together with
Yeah.
Android. Android's more like quote unquote hackable
Yeah.
in that way.
You could. I don't think they like the idea of somebody using an Xbox controller to play PlayStation.
You know what's funny
game.
too is that, like I can stream my iPhone to the Elgato software and stream that to Twitch. I could be remote playing into my console.
It's like a fucking
Is this
Inception.
still loading? Holy fuck! That took forever.
It's a big,
It's
it's a big
pretty
game.
interesting that it's still driving this. Like I kind of feel like if it's doing this remote play thing, I kind of feel like if it wasn't driving the actual display, then it would be better because it would be using less power.
Oh, the lag.
Yeah, I just saw you fucking walk into a wall. Now, so you're
You're running around in Assassin's Creed for the listener.
okay. So your R1 and R2 and L1 and L2
Oh,
are on the top of the screen.
yeah.
So if you wanted to simultaneously push your sticks forward and use those, you can't. You'd have to bring your fingers up or your thumbs off.
Is this Odyssey or
this is Odyssey.
this looks like you're playing Origin with that costume
Oh,
or with that skin or whatever they call them in this game?
I'm gonna die.
Desynchronized, just like the app.
I can't. You lock on with R3, and I didn't see an R3 on.
You
there.
have to push the thing and you have to tap the.
Was it force touch? Is there force touch on the?
I think it's just like a single tap.
On what?
The
Like
where-
you tap,
so
you
you
tap
you
it
don't-
like a button.
so you don't see the joysticks, right? Like they're just kind of there, and they only really show up when you start moving. I think if you're just to kind of tap that area, it kicks.
I
In.
see what you're saying.
But that's the remote play.
You know what's really sad is that it'd be really good. It would have been a really good move for Sony probably if they kept the Xperia line, had like some sort of dock with a nice controller, and then put the Vita technology
In that.
in there, and had like some sort of hardware acceleration, and then had like remember they bought that that's cloud service, the streaming service they bought. I can't remember if it was a cloud or a streaming service.
Gaikai.
But get a
It was a streaming service. Yeah.
Okay, so get a streaming service
Gaikai.
up and running regardless, and then have it so you could just stream your game.
Let me when this reloads, let me see how big this fucking map is, and
Oh, grab a controller, Christ.
I don't want to mess this up. I have a feeling it's gonna
Well, I'll just quit this and let's see what happens.
just use the fucking controller. You use the map. Oh, Jesus Christ.
There, it just sees it as a disconnected remote.
Oh, that's not squares.
Dodge.
Oh, that's new.
This whole game is new. You're playing Unity. That's the first upgrade to the Assassin's Creed sort of
Oh,
formula.
so the attack is on
It's R1 is your attack.
R2.
R1. You're doing heavy attacks.
Oh.
R1's your quick attacks.
Yes, I'm so used to these Assassin's Creed games to do square or X.
R1 and L1 as your block, and it only blocks for a certain amount of time. So you have to kind of time it.
All right. Let's take a look at this map. Perfect map. All right. That's not too big.
Zoom out with the right stick.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay.
It's a big fucking map.
All right. So let me zoom in on one of these cities. Okay. So we were
Well,
here.
Athens is the biggest city.
Athens. Okay. Well, hold on. Okay. This is where you were, right?
Yep.
Holy fuck! This is massive.
Yeah, this game's big, man. It took me like 15 minutes or something like that to ride.
Just to get to Sparta.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, there's a big mountain. I'm gonna ride out there, and like it took me like 15 minutes. Now I was kind of fucking around a bit.
This would take me a decade to play.
I'm at like 65 hours now.
Oh my god!
And there's a bunch of you haven't been to. Looks like.
A bunch of, I don't know if they're all necessary for the story though.
Can you go?
I
Up
think
here?
they're
Is
there
this,
for you
is
to
this
explore.
off limits?
No, that's off limits.
Interesting.
But if you want to go up there, go up, zoom in. No, not all the way up. You see where the water is?
Over here.
Yeah. No, to the right. To the right.
This
to the
side
right.
over here?
Right there.
Yeah.
In that area there. That's where 300 takes place. The gates of Thermopylae.
Man, why isn't there a 3D map? Why can't I tilt down?
That would require a lot more processing power, and it already spins up the fans when this map is open.
Really?
And you have a pro.
Fucking Unity has a 3D map. All right. You want me just to close this?
Yeah. And so, final story. Nintendo is wary of how it handles microtransactions in its mobile games. This comes to us from GameSpot. But according to the Wall Street Journal, Nintendo has had its development partners adjust their mobile games so that players don't spend an excessive amount of money in them. Like many of their smartphone titles, most of Nintendo's mobile offerings are free to download and feature optional in-app purchases. But Wall Street Journal reports that Nintendo is wary of being perceived as greedy for these microtransactions and potentially tarnishing its brand. Now, what's funny, well, I'm not sure if it's funny, but they don't make the games themselves. They partner with other developers, and they're apparently not making much money on these games. Nintendo's happy with what they're making, but the developers are not. So their latest game, Dragalia Lost, is an RPG, made $75 million in revenue worldwide.
And are they scaling that one back? Is that what they're saying?
I imagine that's one of them. But the company that developed it, Cyber Agent, had to cut its earnings forecast, the first time it has done so in 17 years, because the title has underperformed.
Oh, wow.
But this is interesting, though, for Nintendo to be taking this stance. They said that they could make like more money by developing it themselves. So maybe they'll switch to that in the future. I don't know.
Well, what's interesting is that they're not just diving in on this microtransaction thing. And they recently didn't Miyamoto say like people need to stop being so greedy or something like that. It was
maybe.
like a few weeks ago that we had covered that story where like I can't remember what the actual quote was. I don't want to misquote him, but like it was something like you shouldn't be overcharging, I think it was, or something like that. Not greedy, but you shouldn't be overcharging or something. And like Nintendo is kind of famous for not dropping their prices, but I mean,
But their philosophy behind that is they believe that they're worth the value they placed on them.
yeah, like they don't put age.
That's
on
a very
on the
Apple thing to do too. Apple never lowers the actual MSRP price of their products.
right?
They'll have like deals and stuff, but they'll never actually lower that initial cost.
And to be fair, I mean, Apple is accused of being more expensive.
Yeah,
Nintendo is still priced at the industry standard at launch,
right.
so it's not like they're gouging.
Yeah,
So it kind of seems like they're really not gouging now.
and I think they probably they're probably like Disney, where the brand is everything, and to save that brand is probably more important than making millions of dollars of profit off of a mobile game.
Because people would start seeing them as like trying to cash cow everything, right?
Yeah, look at EA. Everyone thinks that they're just in it for the money.
They are.
Although I listened to a podcast with Peter Moore when he was the CEO of EA, and that was during the time when they were voted 2 years in a row worst company in America. And he said, if you remember, he got a little bit better during that time. After that, he said every decision they made, they ran through a filter of, does this put the gamer first? And they started making better decisions. But now that he's gone, it's kind of seemed to have reverted back.
Yeah.
I think it was Marty and I had a discussion a couple nights ago about this, where we were saying that like it's really annoying to have decisions that are solely for the profit, and it's obvious, and what they're doing is they're just alienating people based on like a license. So like, I mean, Fallout's not super predatory, but like, let's say it was. Like, they could make Fallout super predatory, and they would probably make millions. Like, they could put a lot of microtransactions in Fallout 4, for example. Like, they have the Creative Club, or whatever, Creative Club, or the hell it's called, but they based on a license or based on something that people like. Like, a lot of apps are based on like a license that people like, and they're just riddled with microtransactions.
Yeah.
And so, like, but those I think are starting to fail now. I think that people are starting to see, like, this is just bullshit. Like, I don't want to pay for like Spock or something.
The problem is it's like they lower the quality of the game and then have increased like the microtransactions and stuff.
Yeah, like they cut out
So
features.
you have something like Anthem where it's all buggy apparently. The gameplay apparently is like very weird, and like you don't really start getting into it until you're like 40 hours in, you know. And yet they have, I think, do they have microtransactions, or did they say no to that?
I have no idea.
They may have said no to that actually.
Yeah.
What's super interesting about this though, and you and I were discussing this with Sea of Thieves, is like when we were playing, like Sea of Thieves is like really it's a simple game. Why is it taking these game devs like years to make these simple experiences? Graphics are good, all that stuff's fine, but is there no writing department? Like, do they just go like, "Nah, we don't need quests. We don't need that."
I mean,
what do you mean?
I'm pretty sure that's what Sea of Thieves did, because there was no really.
But like, what the fuck's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
Anthem gets accused of being like the hold square simulator, where you just like go and tower defend this thing and then hold square on a button after or something.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Like, why aren't these games releasing with features, essentially? What's another good one? Well, Division seemed to like fix its game, and that was like the encounters were very much like that. Go here and hold square.
The Division did a lot of work for post game. They
They cleaned the shit up.
cleaned the shit up. They brought back players. Same with Sea of Thieves.
See if these clean the shit up now. Yep.
No Man's Sky.
Still seems pretty empty though.
It's still very simple, but that's exactly the thing is it's been updated and it's still very simple.
Yeah.
And like Sea of Thieves is something that, yeah, it's like you're right, Matt. It's like when you have made one corner of that, you essentially made the entire game.
Yeah, like you just
It's literally just kind of stamped and repeated all over the place.
Yeah, and it's the same quest. Like you make deliveries, or you find animals and deliver them, or you
try to and you get your ass handed
Or
to
you get
you
your
by
ass
some
handed to
fucking
But
shithead.
there's only skeletons. There's different types of skeletons, but there's only skeletons to fight.
There's only 3 animals in the entire world.
There's only 3 animals in the entire world with some variants on color and stuff.
Birds. There's some birds you can't touch.
Okay, well,
So 4 animals.
but like regardless, like there's different biomes. But like I'm not saying the environments are cool. The environments are fine. The ship is fine. The water's really good. All that stuff's
The
fine.
water is fantastic. in
But
that
why
game.
is no one doing the content? Like where's the and there's no microtransactions in that game. I thought I was trying to purchase doubloons and I couldn't.
Man, I absolutely love jumping in the water. Like going up high, going off a cliff, and just diving in the water.
It's pretty good.
It is such a fantastic feeling. It is so the water is perfect.
The water's really good
Yeah.
in the game.
I want to every time I play a game, I'm like I want to go swimming. I want to just go find a body of water and just jump in it.
I want to know whether these practices have come from apps
Maybe.
where people are like, "Oh man, like we can just make
Apps?
one. We can
Yeah.
just make one level and make them play 100 times."
Yeah, that's what the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is. It's just the same thing over and over.
Like, god damn it! Like what? Like
Although they have events and stuff, but I mean,
the events are still a very simplistic thing. Oh, it's this timed
it's
event.
the
and
same
this-
thing, but you just have to do it at this time.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
Like, where's the features in these games?
I don't know.
Even Fallout 76 is one of its major problems.
what's
Go
funny-
here, read this, or
What's funny
listen to
too
this.
is their budgets are like ballooning, and
Yeah.
yet there's like less to do in these games.
Like, what's happening?
I don't know. There has been a major focus on the visuals though in the last like 5+ years.
Which is appreciated. I'm not dissing the environment, but like, what? Like, where the hell's the writer?
But I just wonder if they've been pumping more resources into that because they think that's what people want.
What indication would
But-
that?
but then you
I
have
do
something-
appreciate the visuals, but
You have something like God of War, which looks fantastic. You know, one of the best
Yeah.
looking games on this generation. And it has a massive story and side quests and all sorts of stuff. It has a ton of content.
See, that's good.
Hellblade.
Hellblade. I've never played it.
No side stuff. It's a very streamlined main story. That game sounded and looked fantastic.
And it's more linear,
I played
right?
it maxed out on PC, and that thing
It's pretty linear.
is gorgeous to look at.
I might buy it on my PC just to
Fuck
take a
yeah.
look at it, just to see it.
It is fantastic. When you buy it on PC, it comes with a VR edition. If you ever get a VR
Wow.
one, yeah, there's a VR. I have two things in my Steam thing. There's a VR version.
It's not on PlayStation VR though.
Possibly. I didn't check.
I don't think it is.
No.
But that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm like, I might have to
a
buy one.
$1,500 VR
Yeah.
headset. Yeah.
Just have to try this.
All right, that's all we got for you this week. E3, 14 weeks away. Coming up soon.
Otherwise known as small E3,
Yeah, micro.
micro E3.
Yeah. All right, me and Matt have been away from the stream because of me. I've been away on Wednesdays for some reason a lot, or doing something, or got snowed out twice, and so hopefully we'll be back on Twitch soon.
In 2032,
Why is it only 2032?
because I was making fun of you earlier, calling you.
No, but it seems
calling
like
something out.
anytime you pitch out a year,
Where'd that number come from? Yeah.
it's always 2032.
2032. I don't know. That's a good question.
It's
wait a second.
It's a good sounding year.
Maybe
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe from Metro, but that's 2033.
20
That's weird.
2032 is a good sounding year. Like the vintage.
Maybe that's it.
Vintage 2032. Like there's gonna be good wine from that year. I can tell. Like
Fuck.
All right, we'll see you.
Peace.